Hello, this is Agraz.
And this is cirozombie.
And we are going to be building a deck because I need a new deck to build. And
so we're going to do what we figured. We'll take you through the process and do it on camera.
Yep. I'm going to be building a deck based around Rizian and Genesect because I am a grass player through and through, and I will not be building just Genesect Rizian. So don't even...
Don't whine about the standard, because it won't be the standard. It'll have
elements of it, but no.
It'll have elements of it, yes, because Genesect's red signal's kind of too good not to abuse.
Especially now that Catcher's now more or less bad.
Now that card's kind of poo.
And Rizian is like god tier for grass support.
Oh, I don't know if it's god tier per se, but it's really good.
For grass support? Considering there was, like, what the grass support there was, it's god tier.
Okay, yeah. that was a little bit of a derail, but... Well,
right.
So you got those guys.
The biggest problem I've been having with this deck is things that go along with these guys, because there's been so much just these guys shoved down everybody's throats,
and no one knows how to play this guy or this guy. They know that
these two work well together.
Yeah, those two work good together. But what else do you put with them? People are like the original lists, like a rush list, play a Buffalont to deal with weirder attackers.
Oh, the Boofer.
The Boofer Buffalont. The slow version of the list plays like Enhanced Hammers and plays, well, at least the few that I've seen, play Enhanced Hammers and the Plasma Freeze Drifblim, I think? Or is it Blast?
Which one?
The Derail Drifblim. Blast?
I think it's Blast.
I should know.
You should know.
I'm Ghost Pokemon, I should know.
Player.
Ghost player, I should know. Whenever a new one comes out, I'm like, even if it's bad, let's do it. But I should know. I'm pretty sure it's Blast. Feel free to correct me because I feel like looking like a retard on the internet.
I'm pretty sure it's Blast. I'm pretty sure because I'm pretty sure it's Blast because we didn't have that kind of.
And also some of the Shadow Steel is played sometimes because Shadow Steel does kind of retarded damage. It's pretty good against that plasma deck they call. Wow. Wow.
That Buffalo. I have no idea where that Boofer went. I saw one like 3 times. And it just kind of disappeared. Well. But either way, there's Boofer. There's always this guy too because Darkrai is still a thing, especially considering Energy Switch came back around. Yeah.
There's the Boofer.
That Boofer. This guy's a thing because Energy Switch is now a thing again, and that means
Darkrai is pretty much hands down one of the better easily one of the best decks in the format. It's easily again. Like
still again.
I mean, it already was really good, but I mean, the return.
But yeah, pretty much the basis I have for this deck, Rizian will and always be engine plus like status block.
Because that card's
that's what his ability does, as long as it has grass energy.
Your Pokemon, I think it's
any Pokemon with grass energy on it cannot be affected by status condition, and if they're under a status condition and you play grass energy on them, it'll get rid of the status condition.
Yep.
He's a catcher on a stick, as long as you can play a plasma energy from your hand to him, and he's also a decent backup attacker. Or a main attacker.
Yeah, depending on how you want to play the deck.
Yeah. We're going to see if we can just build a deck around him. A few deck ideas that or a few Pokemon that we can go around with. There's... just generic grass support. Like some of my favorite grass Pokemon.
Superior. Are we going to talk about Superior? Are we going to talk about Superior?
The basic Rizian, which is more grass support. I think that was like the only other good grass support at the time.
One of. Yeah. I can agree with that.
There's always Venusaur, which is actually pretty decent on his own because his ability, Fluorescent, you're allowed to search for any Pokemon once per turn.
Sorry, guys. Doing it again.
There's Superior, but he's also been more support-ish because he just likes to sit on the back. And
his attack's kind of...
60 move energy around, yeah.
It's kind of meh. I personally don't like it.
He's good to keep...
New Superior's okay out of Radiant.
The one that is like 80 and...
Gets you free treat?
It's only him, though.
It's only him?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
As long as he has grass energy on him.
I keep thinking it's Darkrai's ability, and it's actually good.
He's not, though.
He's not good. Sorry, camera.
Every Superior has been...
Meh. Well, I guess the other one, like the starter deck one from like Blaze Black and White.
That wasn't bad. I mean,
but it's gone now.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but I still have one. Come on, this one.
Yeah,
it's not bad for 2 grass.
Heals 20,
60, and heals 20 from all grass but one.
Which is all right.
Yeah, all Superiors have either been average or like slightly above average, but not into the good range.
Well. There was a deck that used Royal Hill Superiors and but that was back in like
EX.
No, like back in early release of Base Black and White with like Mega Prime and that I saw a few times.
Fair enough. Let's see what other good generic grass attackers, decent grass attackers.
Shaman.
I mean, there's always Shaman. But I always feel he's kind of like he's more burden than an asset.
He costs you too many games that he saves.
Because he's only really good when like they're almost won, and especially now he's too fragile to
be the man.
Be a good savior, especially considering people can just throw out like
the answer
100 and some odd damage willy nilly.
I thought you were just gonna. At first, when I thought you reached into the bio, I'm like, he's gonna pull out a Bulbasaur. He's gonna pull out a Bulbasaur.
I already pulled out the Venusaur.
Yeah.
There's always Torterra, which I have done a deck with, and it didn't do too bad. 3 energy for 60, and reduce the next attack done to him by 20.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad, and also if you want to get fun, I mean, this thing.
It does flip coins.
It flips a lot of coins. You flip a coin to get tails and does 20 damage for each heads and plus base 80 damage.
80 plus 20.
Yeah.
For each.
So I mean, it's a chancy card, but
I would say this is technically. Let me talk about Carnivine.
Okay, Carnivine. He's not bad, but at the same time, he's not a good attacker. I mean, he takes things.
He's one of those tech one-ofs to deal with certain matchups.
Yeah, he could.
But Spit Squall can really ruin someone's day. And that's especially with this. Because you can snap in certain guys and just force them to completely reset them. Like in Plasma, that sucks. Against Darkrai, that sucks. The Darkrai player is going to be upset.
I mean,
that's like getting the max potion plus some. That's like them playing a Super Scoop Up Cyclone without playing it and not wanting to play it.
And honestly, as far as we can tell, I mean, I'm trying to think of I haven't memorized a lot of the stuff from the new set. If I remember right, the Tangrowth is okay.
I can check it,
but it's not amazing.
I can look it up and read it.
Go for it. I mean, Rizian will always help stuff like Mewtwo. Because Mewtwo will still be a thing with this kind of card. With cards that like to throw energy on other things.
And speaking of things that also use Psychic Energy.
I never said anything about Psychic Energy. I'm talking about X-Ball.
Well, I'm saying
I know what you're talking about, Austin. Go ahead and say it. You want to say it.
I do. This is actually a legitimate attacker now. Again, with Blastoise being a thing, with Black Kyurem being a thing, that is a legitimate attacker. Because Shred doesn't...
Black Kyurem's kind of died down Blastoise has kind of died down a little bit. Because
that is only effects on the defending,
I was saying
not weakness or resistance.
The use of Blastoise and Black Kyurem.
No,
because it's kind of like they're not able to pop whatever they want anymore.
I mean,
they'll pop what's in front of them and then revenge shot. Oh, right. I mean, more generic support.
Mime's pretty good. Once it gets out on the table. Mr. Mime. Oh, by the way, for future reference, what the Tangrowth does, it does for Grass, Bind Down. It does 30 damage and the defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. Then it does 60, and then it does another attack for 2 grass and 2 colorless, Flog, which does...
It may be worth it for the attack name. You're just gonna flog people.
You flip a coin. If heads, the attack does 30 more damage. It does 60 base. It's got weakness to fire, resistance to water, 4 retreat, it's 10 growth. It's fat and slow, and 120 HP. I don't like it, but I mean, bind down's all right.
And does it do damage for bind down?
Yeah, 30.
30. It's okay.
He's a non. I think he's a non-holo rare. For future reference.
But out of stuff. Oh right. I don't think we ever mentioned Venusaur's attack. 4 grass, 2 colorless, poison powder for 70 damage, and they're poison. So if you have like 80 damage or Burbank does 100. And then they're gonna cry a little bit because they'll want.
I mean, if you're gonna bring stage 2s in the mix, you can take away your weakness. But I don't think you're gonna with like Levani. But we're not gonna talk about Levani because no one's gonna play fire.
That's the other thing about grass is good because
grass is good right now because there's no answer to fire. Fire's not an answer because there's no fire around.
There's not a lot of good fire stuff. I mean, I could see if slow decks are able to come back, I could see something like Reshborg kind of coming the thing again.
I could see the new Ninetales mixed with Ho-Oh being a thing. And like just
I thought about it.
Variable Ninetales like some bright looks like you'd have because it's a different Ninetales.
Yeah, I know.
But
it's like one is like.
But the basic can't evolve next turn. But it's like de-evolution sprays to swap Ninetales and actually you could get ridiculous with it.
Oh yeah, it's like if it has an basic energy that matches the opposing's type, it does an extra like
40 damage. It does 50. It does for 3 energy, 3 colors. It does 50 plus 40 more with the effect you mentioned.
I mean,
it's also searchable by level ball.
The only other thing that I would have to worry about with this deck is like the random rogue like decks like this Charizard, because I could see a random rogue Charizard
just swapping the floor with you.
Yeah, I mean that's why I would have stuff like
Kelder.
Mewtwo.
You forgot Kelder.
Oh yeah.
Do you need me to grab one?
I got one.
Oh wait, yeah, that's good. I don't. They're over there.
Yeah, I mean there's always Keldeo because I mean Venusaur is a giant body,
and
everything else is actually relatively low.
Carnivine's 2, but Mewtwo's 2. Giratina's 3. That lower row is actually pretty slow, other than like the Mr. Mime.
And the Mewtwo. Mewtwo's 2.
I consider I consider 2 anything that isn't 1 to be slow. Personally.
If it can be retreated with a double colorless, it's handleable.
It's handleable, but I don't want to waste special energy on retreating.
Right, but if you absolutely have to, it's handleable. It's not like 3 energy or just have it sit there with double colorless and go, why aren't you a triple rainbow energy? Why don't we have that anymore?
Because it's broken.
I know we don't. I know
because it's broken. It's not up for debate, Ryan.
I never said anything about it. I just said I just wanted to retreat with that. I'm like screw attacking with it.
Well, Bolt Strike Zekrom got reprinted. That's an electrical answer for I don't know what's in the metagame that would need it, but
oh, you mean the outrages?
Yeah, outrages.
Both did.
Yeah, so
they were the gold ones anyway.
Yeah, but they also reprinted them normally.
Right.
So you could have.
Yeah, really
look, Reshiram.
The fire one has a really derpy attack.
You could have Reshiram in the deck. That could be a outrage and blue flare. Just a thought.
Yeah.
Move on.
I don't actually no wait.
Full arts, cool.
I was like, oh wait, I do have them.
Yeah. I like these Philo cards. This should be a thing. This is weird.
This is not a thing.
Except for the Venusaur.
There's also
because
this is an option because his other attack. I mean,
his first attack is not even bad if you start with the fire.
His first attack's not bad if you start with the fire. You get basically Rizian's attack without doing damage. You get search for 2 basic.
But they go anywhere. They don't go on the one guy. So you could actually set this dude up.
I know. But
assuming you play it.
Grab 2 basic energy from your deck, throw it on your benched Pokemon in any way you like. You can't throw it on him. So you can't. If you start with him alone, you're kind of just going foo.
You're just going. This is a teeny, and I am upset.
But his attack against mirror matches, he just kind of looks at the Rizian Genesect deck and says, "Sup." Something else I was kind of thinking of, just for general support, Because this card's actually good, either way.
Yeah, that card's fantastic. We're not going to get on that subject.
Yes, we are, because it's still general support. It doesn't have to be plasma.
Actually, your deck can abuse it too. Actually, not really. Never mind. I thought of some stuff, and then I'm like, wait a minute, no, that's a bad idea. Shut up, Austin.
Not worrying about trainer supporters GS quite yet.
Because that'll come later when we're actually building the deck.
Or after we're done with Pokemon lineup.
Yeah, which we don't even fully have yet.
Nope, not even. I mean, we have a pile of cards that
look really fun to get.
A deck could be together.
Could form from.
It's just we had to think about the fact that if we run Venusaur, we have to make room for stuff like candies
and the basics
and stuff like that. With this guy, we had to run extra energy type.
Yeah,
and I would want to run basics because
Enhanced Hammer sucks.
Enhanced Hammer is a very big thing right now,
and Sableye is kind of a dude, and he kind of ruins lives.
Yeah.
I personally love Sableye, but
you're a Ghost player, and
I'm a Ghost player, and I'm one of those guys who plays Darkrai. It just gets all quiet.
Yeah. You're one of those guys.
I haven't played Darkrai in like 6 months though.
I know. I'm proud of you.
I'm working. I played Sableye, but I haven't played Darkrai.
You're on the patch.
I'm on the patch. It's funny because there's a dark patch.
There's a claw too. Maybe I should just. Damn. No.
Maybe I should energy switch over to you.
I did think about...
That was bad. I'm sorry.
I did think about potential energy switch in this deck.
That seems kind of hot, actually.
But it also depends on what I'm going with here. Because with this guy, it'll help out immensely. Against him, it'll help out immensely.
Yeah, but Victini, maybe.
Victini could.
You could keep... Carnivine, it gets that turn 2. Whee! It gets that turn 2 Weeboo shot.
If I wanted to have that turn 2, I'd rather have that turn 2.
I know. Well, it depends on if they only get one Pokemon, because that's a funny way to win. I've done that.
I've done it too with a better Pokemon.
Oh yeah. Pidgeot.
Pidgeot's the man.
You're just like, get out of here, Carnivine.
You're not Pidgeot, I don't want to talk to you.
I love Carnivine. Why? He's my for future reference, Carnivine is my favorite grass Pokemon.
I don't hate him either. I mean, I thought he was fun, but I mean, he's still up for debate. He's still up for debate.
He's still sitting over in my binder.
But I just
he's got a home run.
He's kind of like, for me, I think he might be kind of like a shaman thing. He's too risky for his rewards.
Trying to think of other stuff that hasn't been mentioned that should be mentioned.
I know, right?
The mentionable mentioning that must be mentioned.
No, stuff like Articuno. I mean,
I want to play Articuno.
I mean, it's a fire counter, and it does cost a lot of less fire or water energy.
Keep that for another video because I had a list for Articuno that I wanted to.
But no, I'm just saying, as an actual counter to like fire Pokemon, he's honestly not bad. Articuno, EX guy
with an engine.
This guy.
This is a good set of tech. I'll let you play the 70 HP Drifloon, but I don't have one on hand. It's somewhere else. I have it. It's just not on hand. They're over there.
Yeah, I know. That's how I was saying that guy.
But this Shadow Steel Drifloon.
Technically, the other one, the
Derail.
Derail wouldn't be too bad either.
It's not. I wanted to run a deck that's just a pile of Drifloon, but I can't do that because there's not enough Drifloon to go around.
If we want to get really saucy with this deck,
saucy. Oh, Stoutland! Oh, heavens to Betsy! I enjoyed me some Stoutland.
Because I think Rizian and Genesect would be kind of dirty backups for him.
Just have snaps and basically... I'll get back to you on that.
If you don't know what Stoutland does, Sentinel, he's kind of like Gardevoir. When Gardevoir's active.
You mean this girl? You mean my girl Gothitelle?
Yeah, the
Magic Room Gothitelle.
The Iron Maiden. No, not the rock band, just like the giant torture device.
I know. I know. I just wanted to take it a bright, happy location rather than your dead location.
But that's the way I go with that.
Well, I guess Iron Maiden has a pretty bleak message though. So.
Okay, enough of that. Magic Room, right? Okay, Magic Room, once active, your opponent can't play items.
When she is active, your opponent cannot play items.
Yeah.
But
when Stalin's active,
no
your
supporters.
opponent can't play supporters.
Is it when he's active?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not that busted.
He's not Claydol. You can't just do it.
He's not. Who did that? He's not Vileplume.
You can't go home again. I miss you, Chandler. You can't go. You can't go home again.
Rizian or Genesect and Snorlax could be kind of fun too.
They could power around. They could be buddies.
Because Snorlax has block, so that means anything Genesect would bring in
is stuck.
It's kind of stuck there unless they have like this guy. But
then you can just drag that guy up, and then you just power this thing up and wait to kill it.
Yeah.
Like you literally just get to watch it die.
Pretty much.
Unless something more pertinent to kill first comes to hits the table.
Do you have a Leafeon on you?
I do happen to have a Leafeon. Let me
I figured you would because of
I do because I did play that deck. I did play the weird EV thing. It's pretty good.
It's not bad if the deck's set up for it. Like
yeah, if you want to have the EV room. What's up? He was like, move stuff over.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, It's kind of why we should be using all this table space. But yeah, there might be some. It might be some glare. That's one reason why I've been kind of keeping it
center.
side.
Keeping it on one side because there's less glare. Is it?
Oh yeah, that Mr. Mime's not visible.
Visible, Mr. Mime. Hey, like he got his light screen up.
Yep, he's hiding behind the wall.
He got his light screen up.
But the Leafeon. Sorry, Snorlax.
So
the Leafeon Energy Crush. It does 20 times the number of energy attached to all your opponent's Pokemon. So if a Blastoise player sees a Leafeon hit the table, they have to play very carefully.
We're playing very carefully. No rabbits. Scary rabbit.
Very, very carefully.
Very, very carefully. Where's Gothitelle? They're like, oh, you gave it back to me. All right.
Yeah.
That's the more. These are the sub tier support. Like not necessarily here. No.
He uses grass.
He does use grass. I guess in the same vein as like Giratina. It's awkward. Yeah. It's awkward in the same vein.
I mean, same kind of thing as Giratina.
Except on a stage 2.
Also Deafen. Actually, he's on the same vein of Stoutland and Giratina.
Yeah, he's awkward to power up.
Actually, not as much because his main attack is Deafen. 3 colorless, 60 damage, and your opponent can't use items next turn.
Ow. That was uncomfortable.
Sorry. But Giratina could still be attacked because he is a Black Kyurem popper.
He does kind of just eviscerate Black Kyurems off the table.
But at the same time, Black Kyurem pops Giratina.
Yep, you have to play smart. But they can't drag you out.
Right.
Guaranteed.
Right. I mean, I could just say, oh, look, you have a Black Kyurem, that's cute. I'm going to pull him out and just...
Yep. That's why your deck...
That's why this deck, these 2 cards, has a lot of variety to them. Because
but people just don't think. They're just like, you know.
I know. He protects them from.
It also brings up something I want to talk about as far as the ace spec for the deck. I don't say G booster. I don't say G booster. I say dowsing machine.
There's dowsing or computer search, dowsing machine,
and scramble
switch, which I honestly don't know where mine is. I know it's around here somewhere.
Mine's in my binder.
Is it? Okay.
I believe so.
Is that out farther enough? It is not. Okay.
Mine's in my binder. There's that.
There you go. Well, actually, you know what? Let's just throw it on top of things. Scramble switch, dowsing machine, and
because that's one of the hardest choices when it comes into deck build. What ace spec do I play?
And half the time,
I find myself playing this.
Ace specs to me are some of the weakest. They're like the best and the weakest cards in the deck. Because
there's only
they
one
are
copy.
some of the strongest cards in the deck, but at the same time,
they're one
you
copy.
use them once, and unless you're playing Darkrai, they mean dilly pooty. Because you use it once, you can either turn the tide in your game for like a turn or 2,
or actually win the game with it.
Or win the game with it.
Or you
can draw it early game, and just
this isn't bad to draw early game.
Yeah, this one's the
no
best.
matter what.
This thing's like the best thing you can draw early game.
Darkrai becomes even more retarded.
Right, but I'm just saying. Like you can
That's
draw a
the
scramble
dream.
switch early game and go, well darn it.
well, darn.
Unless you're like just needing like 1 extra energy to finish powering up your main attacker and then swap. But I digress. That's just.
I liked the roll. Anyway, we can move these off the table for now.
Yeah.
Because we're not on to trainers yet, but that's just one of those.
It is something to kind of plan for.
It's one of those tough decisions. Like what?
And there's been a few decks where I've even just considered
not playing an ace spec. Yeah,
playing
I've
ace
been
specs,
there.
and with those I'm usually playing like Victini, and I'll just go, oh, I got a victory piece because victory piece
It's pretty cool when it works.
It's honestly one of the better.
It's the best to equip ace spec, I think, other than maybe G booster.
G booster's up there too.
It's a tie between those two. For what they do, it is G booster and victory piece.
I don't know. Black Kyurem with a 300 HP body's kind of sexy.
But you're still probably you're still dying to this thing. Wait, no, it's 130.
No, unless you use the final attack.
I'm gonna do it.
I know that. I know that, but it's still.
I'm gonna pulse the crap out of you. I'm doing it. Well, I won't one-shot it, but it'll definitely put it in the red. And it'll make them want to play that max potion that they didn't want to play to salvage the game.
It'll one-shot them. No, it won't. It will leave them...
Kill Giratina?
Unless...
They have to ballista you to kill you in one.
Unless they do this.
We need to not talk about Iris. We'll talk about that later, Ryan. We'll talk about Iris later because we're getting off topic. But this is a lot of stuff to really digest and...
Right.
And there's a few other ideas I have, but...
Go for it.
Roserade. Apart from Roserade. Mainly because I like having my answers in the palm of my hand. Unlike Ryan, he has a philosophy of let's draw cards.
Well, no, it's not that. It
depends on the deck.
I don't like dead weight on the table.
Oh, okay. I understand that. Like Claydol was never dead weight, and that's why you were like...
It wasn't as bad as dead weight, because, I mean, there wasn't any catchers.
Right.
Roserade, you use once... And unless
you're playing a weird deck...
Unless you're playing a deck with, like, de-evolution sprays and stuff.
Or, like, Super Swoop Up Cyclone.
Yeah. He's pretty much...
Which I thought about, actually. Be on the lookout. Coming to a regional... Coming to a league challenge near you. Roserade.derp.
Roserade, you use them once, and then it's pretty much dead weight.
Ninetales, Roserade, those kind of cards.
These cards will be on the bench.
Garbodor. We'll move on. I understand what you're saying.
Garbodor, they're on the bench. They're pretty much dead weight, but at the same time, they're doing everything for your deck that it needs.
It's one of those, it's a hard thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, it is literally hard to put into perspective. Unless you understand how to play those cards, you're probably going to lose when you play those cards.
Right.
Those are skill cards.
This guy, he is good early game.
Hey, these both are good early game.
I'm saying, he's good early game, in case you needed...
To beat things to death.
I was talking about first attack. If your hand's kind of poo...
Draw some more, yeah, I don't,
draw out of it.
I don't mind draw attacks. I don't at all.
And then Leaf Wallop, if they let you keep going with that, go to town. And
if they let you play.
And Bangles. Bangles with that thing is kind of...
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean...
Ridiculous.
You're just going to beat on... You're going to beat that ass.
Anyway, I'm glad that was off camera. Anyway,
yeah.
We can edit that out. Anyway.
Yeah. Stop.
Okay. But
this is honestly giving me a headache because we just thought of a whole bunch of opportunities for this deck that I've honestly never even thought about.
You're welcome. Well, see, this is why I like doing stuff like this.
Just going through my entire deck building stuff.
Like, this is why I like doing stuff like this.
I honestly never thought about these two with these.
That's why I suggest stuff like this.
Like he's not really the most like direct in my mind.
He's a cool little like one of thing.
Yeah, but if I have a one of, I'd want to have honestly something like him.
Something like Giratina or Mr. Mime.
Mr. Mime should still technically be there because of Darkrai.
Because that card is awesome.
Dragon Knight's really good if you can get going like turn 2. If you can get him out turn 2
and just deafen on him,
deafen the Jesus out of a Darkrai player,
they lose.
They will have the worst day of their life.
No, they lose. This isn't even an argument. They lose.
Well, I guess turn 3 because you're going to go first and then just get.
You're gonna go first. If you start with this, get it going turn 1. Like
somehow. I mean,
if you played the Plasma Engine, this and this would be really sick. I would get salty. I'm like because you'd be like
turn 1.
You'd go badge to this. You go badge to this dude.
Yeah.
Then you go Grass Energy, Colress Machine, and you have your Dratini, and you Emerald Slash and get it to your Dratini. Next turn, Rare Candy into Dragonite. Then you would go
like Scramble Switch,
or you attach an energy and
retreat,
and then you deafen on them on turn 2, and they go Darkrai. No, Darkrai players just do this. They just sit at the table and stare at you.
They'd only be able to do that if you go second.
Yeah. If you get the choice,
yeah. I mean,
Darkrai players are going to. I'm not sure.
Darkrai would probably go second.
Yeah, it is an aggressive deck, so I can see it going second.
Well, they'd want to start doing Sableye things as soon as possible.
They want to live the dream as soon as possible.
But it's honestly he's his own deck is technically the same concept as this guy.
Yeah, but you'd play. The only thing that's different that you wouldn't play with this is you play Getsus.
Yeah, and you wouldn't really have to worry too much about getting the Emerald Slash thing going turn 1.
With this dude?
Yes, with this guy. But this guy, you want to start deafening as soon as possible. He is a loaded shotgun.
He is. If you get it, you're probably going to give your opponent the worst day possible.
If you get him out early enough, you're going to give him a pretty bad day. and guess this early game is also...
It's devastating.
Especially if you...
If they're playing Darkrai, gets this early game, it's devastating.
Honestly, if you go first, they do junk hunt things, you go guess this, there you go.
You just go, you just chest slap. Like, what? What about, I live that style of life.
And Wild Tackle's not bad either.
No, it's just a nice beat weapon. It's just, I'm going to ream your Sableye now, dead. Hello?
Okay. He's got to take something. So, other deck ideas? I mean...
Oh, good. Damn cool.
That's fine. With him, he's only good for a mirror attack. Or mirror... counter.
Well, he's a counter to not even the mirror. Your deck's not a mirror at all.
Well, no, grass mirror. I mean, it technically is because it is based around these guys.
There we go.
It's just not the Genocide Brazilian deck of Days of Yore.
Yore. It's a fun word.
It is a very fun word. That or him.
I don't know.
He's technically a bit less risky because he's only giving away 1 prize, but at the same time, Outrage doesn't do daily PvP because he usually just disappears.
They usually just G-booster in the face.
Exactly.
They just boost. Though with the right Tool Scrapper lineup, you can really make them not be able to do that.
That's the other reason. Is with Tool Scrapper and Chadots being a thing, like 3 Tool Scrappers and Chadot being a thing.
Some people, it's 2 to 3 Tool Scrappers and maybe a Chadot.
Well,
It's usually 2 to 3 Tool Scrappers, and they sometimes will run Dowsing Machine. A lot of people like that card.
And then Chadot's still out there, so G-Booster is not the
best card in the world.
Best card anymore.
But Megalo Cannon doesn't kill you, and that's the bright point there.
Neither does Night Slash.
Emerald Slash.
I was talking about the
Night Spear.
Night Spear.
Nope. And then you get to play.
Yeah, I mean, G-Booster, in my opinion, or not G-Booster, but Megalo Cannon is, in my opinion, a slightly better
Night Spear?
Night Spear, just because it punches more where it hurts them more. It hurts them more because...
Depends on what they're doing.
I know.
It really depends on what they're doing.
It softens the bench up enough still.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not 60 damage 2 turns, but it still softens them up enough.
Yeah.
It's still doing the same amount of damage, just slightly different placed.
Yeah. Anyway. I feel like if we have other ideas, we can mention them.
Yeah.
I feel like we should stop and actually get ready to build something.
Yeah, we will decide on what we want to do. And then we'll explain.
So this is my round table. It's awesome. You get ideas you never thought you were going to see.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's just like my brain.
This is a rainbow of colors that I didn't think we'd see in a grass deck.
Red button.
Yep.